Adventurous kids, explore with education and learning what a wild life is in the Everglades. I want to explore the Museum of Discovering Science. What plants do butterflies like? I want to know about Key West Adventurous Kids, learning and fun. Adventurous Kids!
Today I'm going to tell you about viruses. Viruses are very small particles that can infect animals and plants and humans and make them sick. Viruses are made up of genetic materials like DNA and are protected by a coating of protein. The word virus comes from the Latin word virulentus, meaning poisonous. Viruses hijack the cells of living organisms. They inject their genetic material right into the cell and take over. They then use the cell to make more virus and take over more cells. Viruses are so tiny that people can see them only with powerful microscopes. Some viruses have a spherical or round shape. Others are shaped like rods. Viruses are made up mostly of a substance called nucleic acid surrounded by a protein. Are viruses alive? Scientists differ on whether viruses are actually alive or not. Many people say they are non living because they cannot reproduce without the aid of a host. Viruses also do not metabolize food into energy or have organized cells, which are usually characteristics of living things. Viruses are not classified in any of the five kingdoms of living things. This means they are not bacteria, fungi, protists, plants, or animals. Wow! Dang, boy, that's a virus on a whiskey. On its own, a virus is lifeless. However, if it becomes active when it infects or enters a cell of an animal or a plant, once inside a cell, a virus can reproduce itself like living things can. The copies that the virus makes of itself are called virons. These virons can leave the original cell and infect other cells. Viruses also can live in bacteria, which are living things made of only one cell. Yes, viruses have DNA, but not all of them. Some viruses have RNA instead of DNA, meaning their genetic material can be either one, depending on the virus type. A virus that contains RNA instead of DNA is sometimes called a retrovirus. Viruses are very small and lightweight. They can float through air and survive in water or even on the surfaces of your skin. Viruses can be passed from one person to the next by shaking hands, touching food, through water, or the air when a person coughs or sneezes. Viruses can also be passed on through insect bites, animals, or through bad food. Humans and other animals have natural defenses against the virus. Fever is one important way that a human body fights a virus. A fever is when a body's temperature rises. A fever causes some viruses to become inactive. The body's immune system also fights the virus. It produces white blood cells and substances called antibodies to attack the viruses. And after those cells and antibodies have attacked the virus, they stay in the body, which prevents future infection from the same virus. Doctors use vaccines to prevent many diseases. caused by viruses. Vaccines are substances made from dead or weakened viruses. They prepare the immune system to fight off active forms of these viruses. While it is possible for a human virus to infect other species, it is not common and usually only occurs under specific conditions, as viruses are highly adapted to their host species and often cannot replicate effectively in different animals. However, there are instances where viruses can spill over from human to other animals, known as zoonotic transmission, and vice versa. To prevent viruses from making you sick, the most important thing is to practice good hygiene by washing your hands frequently with soap and water, especially after using the bathroom. Coughing or sneezing, cover your mouth and nose. When coughing or sneezing, with a tissue or your elbow. Avoid touching your face and stay away from sick people and ensure you are up to date with relevant vaccinations. Wash hands thoroughly with soap and water for at least 20 seconds, especially before eating and after using the bathroom and after playing outside. You can use any temperature of water to wash your hands. Cold water and warm water are equally effective at killing germs and viruses as long as you use soap. Researchers estimate that 10 nonillion, 10 followed by 30 zeros, individual viruses exist on Earth. If all the 1,030 viruses were organized in a single fashion, they would stretch over 100 million light years. A single light year is 6 trillion miles, which is 4 times the distance of Earth to the Canis Major Dwarf, our closest galaxy. Thank you for watching this episode of Adventurous Kids. Yeehaw! And remember to keep your hands clean by washing your hands for at least 20 seconds.
What did you learn today? Adventurous Kids! Adventurous Kids! What was the most interesting fact? Adventurous Kids! Adventurous Kids! Adventurous